Jim Schultz here for Calculated Risk, and don't forget, before we get going, the best things you can do to help us are subscribing to the channel, liking the video, or sharing the video with a friend. Any one of those guys helps us out a lot. All right, so one of the most useful things you can look at in your platform, in your tastytrade platform, is something called the expected move. Now, the expected move, it doesn't tell you where the market's going. It doesn't tell you if a stock is going to go up or a stock is going to go down, but it does give you a really nice idea around the potential magnitude of a given move. And what's really nice about the expected move is it's not based on somebody's opinion. It's not based on a chart pattern or some interpretation of a chart pattern. It's not based on what some TV analyst says on some program. It is the objective understanding of the overall market, specifically the implied volatility that is in the market. So in a very real sense, the expected move shows you effectively the aggregate wisdom, the collective wisdom of all the participants in the marketplace. The retail, the institutions, the buyers, the sellers, everyone is in there determining what they think the fair value should be. And as a result, you have this estimate of the expected move for the stock or the index over that period of time. Now, as a premium seller, and specifically an out of the money premium seller, this can be really helpful for us as we're trying to kind of get some type of objective framework around the strategies that we choose, the strikes that we might select for that strategy. And so looking at something like an expected move can be really, really helpful. So let's pop into tastytrade right now and let's take a look. Okay, so now you see I'm in my tastytrade platform, and if I were to pull up SPY and I just go to the trade page and I pick, the May cycle, one of the things that's really nice is if I look at the center of the screen, this copper strip that you see right in the center, that is a visual representation of the expected move for this cycle. And so if I look at the different strikes, you can see that we're looking at an expected move up to 732 on the top side. And then if we scroll up on the screen a little bit, you're going to see the expected move is maybe 690 or just under 690 on the downside. And so that gives you an up and down, a bullish and bearish case for the range of SPY over the course of the next 28 days. You could also simply look at the upper right-hand corner right here. That gives you the numerical representation of this visual copper strip that is in the center of the screen. And so either one of these is pointing you to the same thing, the expected move on the stock. Okay, so now we've got Amazon put up. We'll look at the exact same thing. We'll go to the trade page. We'll open up the June cycle with 62 days to go. And you see basically the same thing. 62 days to go. I've got my copper strip in the center and the numerical representation of the copper strip right up there. So it gives me a really nice understanding of an objective measurement around the potential move in Amazon. You can notice it's symmetric on both sides because, again, the market doesn't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the market. Nobody thought that the market would be up 170 points today. I can assure you of that. And so when you look at this copper strip, it's symmetric, but it does give you some understanding around the magnitude of the move. But if we stay in Amazon for a second, you'll notice you have the copper strip here in the center, which is right there, but you also have these blue dashed lines. So I've got this guy and I've got this guy. Those are essentially two different ways to measure the same thing. They're both trying to capture what does a one standard deviation range look like right now. So that usually gives me around a 67 to 68% probability of being correct. Well, the copper strip gives you an estimate of that expected move based off of real prices in the marketplace, usually looking at around the straddle price or the slightly out of the money prices on the option chain. Usually, if you go to the option chain for this cycle, which we already have it up, of course, if I look at Amazon at 253, I'd be looking at, this is effectively going to be my straddle price. If I take about 85% of the total straddle price, that is going to be equal to this number up here. Approximately. It's not necessarily going to be, to the penny, but that does give you some understanding of where the expected move is coming from. So the expected move as measured by the copper strip is a very practical way of looking at expected moves in the marketplace or expected moves in a given stock. If I'm looking at the blue dashed line, however, now this is a more theoretical application. This is more of a theoretical understanding of, okay, what does the normal distribution in an abstract way, in a theoretical way, what is it pricing in terms of +1 standard deviation and -1 standard deviation? That is what the blue dashed line represents. As traders, typically, we're going to choose the copper strip more often than the blue dashed line, simply because it is based off of real-time prices. It is a more practical application of expected moves. And then lastly, just sticking with Amazon because it's simple, it's already up on the screen, you can hopefully see now by looking at an expected move, it really helps with my strike selection on different strategies. Like for example, if I wanted to be neutral in Amazon and I wanted to sell a strangle, a very simple way to do that is, man, just go 1 or 2 strikes outside of the expected move on one side, go 1 or 2 strikes outside the expected move on the other side, and you'll see, if you go down to the trade bar, you have a probability of profit right around 70%. Now, of course, we've got P50 and a bunch of other metrics, which all sound like additional episodes of calculated risk, but I digress. But looking at the expected move alone gives you a really nice baseline for strike selection for the strategy that you might be considering. And I think that's a really effective way to use this metric in the marketplace. Okay, so that is the expected move inside of the tastytrade platform. Now, what's the big takeaway? Well, as a premium seller, hopefully you could see how advantageous it is to look at the expected move to start thinking about where I want to set my strikes, to start thinking about what type of probability I want on the trade and what the market itself is anticipating in terms of the potential range in that stock for that duration. Just as you saw when we set up that strangle in Amazon, I just went just outside the expected move and the probability of profit on the trade came in right about 70%. That's what I would expect. That's exactly what I would expect using the expected move, as it does indeed measure or give one potential way of measuring right around that ±1 standard deviation level in the marketplace. Now, of course, this is just one piece to the puzzle, right? This is just trade entry. I mean, it might be 68, 70% on trade entry, but from that point, you've still got to manage it. You've still got to target certain profits. 50% of max profit. You're looking at 21 days. You're doing all the things that we do when it comes to position management, but this is a really nice way to start thinking about trade entry and start layering on as many objective things into the mix as you possibly can. And we'll see you guys next time.